How you doing?
Hey, Matt, how you doing, man?
I'm very, very well. How about yourself?
Good. Very, very, very good. Very cool to talk to you, somebody who's, I guess, kind of grown up on the music. It's really cool to see that you guys are back and you're back into it. And new album, new single, new things are good, hey?
Things are new, man.
Wow,
it's awesome.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's great. It's such an exciting time. I mean, sometimes records take a little longer than you'd like them to take, but it is what it is. They come at their own pace, and this one's ready, and it's very exciting.
How does it feel to be kind of like having such success, like with Everything You Want, number one on the charts, and the most played single of 2000? You pretty much not only captured the chart, but you captured like that time. Like people hear that song and they go back to that time. That must be a crazy feeling to be a part of all that.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and you're absolutely right. That was a song that everybody was hearing on the radio, and as a songwriter, that's sort of, I think, the highest honor. I write the songs for myself, fairly selfishly, to deal with things that I need to deal with inside of me, and for that many people to embrace it so strongly, it's humbling. But at the same time, it's joyous. I remember my mom was driving about a 2.5-hour drive from my hometown of Worcester to Cape Cod. And she was flipping through the dial, and she heard the song in 2.5 hours. She heard it 12 different times, which was just wonderful.
It still holds up. Like, it's incredible. We do a Throwback Thursday feature on our station here on C95. And we play, like, we heavy up the 90s, early 2000s, and it's, like, guaranteed every week people always request that song.
Oh, that's killer. I love that.
It's really awesome to know that you guys are, new stuff on the way. You can actually get the free single on the website right now, right? Yeah,
if you go to verticalhorizon.com, you can download the song for free, and it's a song called Broken Over You, and people are really liking it a lot, and I'm grateful. It's nice for us to be able to give the song away for now. We're not going to do it much longer, so if you'd like to hear it, you should get yourself on over there to verticalhorizon.com. But it's a little gift that we can give to people as a way of saying thanks for holding us in their hearts for so long. It's really great.
And have you ever been to Saskatoon yourself? Have you ever been through here?
We did the Edgefest tour of Canada years and years and years ago. Are they still do that?
Not so much anymore. It's kind of fizzled away. We used to do like the Vans Warped Tour and everything too, and that kind of all fizzled out. So.
Right. Yeah. But years ago we started. We started on the East Coast and went all the way over to Vancouver. So it's been a long time. It's kind of a blur. That one was a blur. Everybody else was in buses, and we were in a van. So while the buses would drive through the night and just have the bands wake up wherever they were supposed to go, we were in a van, hoofing ourselves across your country. It's not small, Canada, turns out.
No, and another tie-in with the country too. You worked with Neil Peart. That is incredible.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite people on the planet, and clearly he's arguably the greatest drummer of all time, and I certainly think he is. But he's also just one of the best people I've ever met in my life, and it's sort of a crazy story, but I grew up loving Rush, and Rush is still to this day probably my favorite band of all time, and just through some strange, circuitous, coincidence and sort of flow of events, we met each other, and as I was trying to think about what to say, all right, well, here's this guy, you love his work so much, what do you say to him? As I was trying to come up with some words that would do, he sort of leaned over and said, I'm a big fan of your work.
Wow.
in that great baritone voice. And I thought,
wow,
okay, life is pretty cool.
That has got to be the most amazing feeling, hey?
Yeah, it was awesome. He's a musical hero of mine, and it's just been even so much more wonderful to become friends, and move past just the work thing, and move past just the adulation for what they've accomplished and what they've achieved as musicians. Now he's my dear friend. I call him Neilio. He calls me Mateo, and wow. he's like a brother.
Well, we got our boss here, our big boss man. He is a huge Richard Marx fan in a way that we go out, staff parties, and if there's a karaoke machine or there's a jukebox, it's Richard Marx like nonstop. And you've actually worked with this guy.
Yeah, I actually saw him last night. We celebrated his birthday together here in L.A., and he's another one of those guys who's just he's an absolute brother to me. I love him. stunningly talented dude. I mean, I've written with a lot of great writers now over my the course of my career, and Richard Marx is up there with the best of them, handily up there with the best of them, if not the best. And he knows the craft, the art of collaborative songwriting. When you sit down and start putting ideas on the table, he's just so proficient and adept at the it's a bit of a dance, because you've got emotions that you're sort of bearing when you're trying to write something that actually resonates and means something. So there's a sense of wanting to respect the other guy or woman's feelings in the collaborative writing process, and yet at the same time you have to drive each other. You have to push and try to do the best you can. You have to try to beat what's already on the page, so to speak. So he's fantastic at that, and he's also probably the best vocal producer. He's a great producer, but he's terrific producing vocals because he's such an amazing singer. So he produced the vocals on 2 of the songs on the new record, on Echoes from the Underground, and he and I actually co-wrote the first song on the record, a song called You Never Let Me Down. So his presence is very strong. He sings backup vocals on, I think, 5 of the songs as well. So
wow.
Neil Peart plays drums on 2 of the songs, and Richard sings and makes other musical contributions to 4 or 5 songs. I got my buddy standing up for me on this record. It's very cool.
Yeah, and this album available October 8th, Echoes from the Underground, and also the big Under the Sun tour just wrapping up too. I don't think any Canadian stops though.
Well, the Under the Sun tour, unfortunately, there was a Toronto date, and something got messed up with it. It wasn't certainly wasn't our decision. So there was a Toronto date, but the tour itself, the Under the Sun tour, is over. I hope that we can join them next summer, and we may or may not be able to do that. But I'm sure we're going to be adding our own Canada dates. So on the website or on the Facebook page, people can go there and check it out.
Have you ever watched the SNL skit where they have Smash Mouth living in the closet?
No.
Are you familiar with that?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, but I know with certainty that I would like to see that.
Well, you've lived it, I think, so I don't think to see it would kind of be.
That's true. I've lived quite a life so far.
You actually had Smash Mouth in your closet, I'm sure, 1 or 2 times on the road.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we had them on our tour bus, that's for sure. I don't know if it's the same, but it's probably close.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot for the time, man. Best of luck to you. Looking forward to the new release, Echoes from the Underground, October 8th. Anything else you want to throw in there?
Well, I just want to say hi to all our Canadian friends and fans. I mean, it's been a long time since we've been up there, but it's such an amazing place, and the people are just such good people. So I really look forward to getting back up there, and thanks for supporting our band for all these years. Canada was one of our first major touring experiences, and doing the Edgefest tour, and we just feel a lot of love up there. So thank you, everybody who supports and listens to my band.
But it's not so bad.